anywhere on earth, get you right here with me. Rocking with J to J. Watch the movement. Don't judge my life. LLC. J to J.
It is what it is. Y'all rocking with me.
Watch the movement.
Here. Hey, Coach.
What's going on? What's going on?
We available mid-major mindset in the building, y'all. What up, world? Hey, Coach P. What's going on? Sorry, off camera, y'all. Shit be happening. Technology should be happening. But the mic crack, we here now, y'all. What's going on, Coach?
Ain't nothing much. You know what I'm saying? Well rested. Took a big nap today. Was tired from that drive yesterday and had to get up and go deal with them kids this morning. So I got to take me a nap. And I'm well rested. When we done here, I'm going back to sleep to get some more rest.
And get right back at it and go out and encourage more kids to do more amazing greatness out here in these streets, Coach. I'm with it, Coach. Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. We won't have shit set up, but we're gonna rock with this one. We are two athletes. We know the sports world. We know how to talk this talk. That's why y'all come here and rock with us. So it's always stuff going on in the sports world. So just rock with us and flow with us, y'all. Because life is life, and like Coach said, he just got off the road, literally driving hours. He needed his rest. He had to go to work with kids. Like I had to do stuff all day long. So let's rock Let's rock out, Coach.
Absolutely, man. Today is, well, now it's not Wednesday. Well, it is Wednesday now. Well, it's Tuesday. Today's Wednesday, May 28th. It's 12:30 a.m. Eastern time, meaning it's 9:30 out on the West Coast, and all over the world is different times. So whoever's with us, some people will check in, and we appreciate everybody going to give us some time. This late night, early morning time. I don't know what you call this time. Like, I know we call it midnight. What you supposed to be doing right now? Sleeping up?
Oh, this the creative hours. This the witching hours. Some people call this the witching hours. Some people call this the creative hours. This when my mind be flowing, Coach. This when I'm out working, writing, flowing.
I could dig that. I ain't gonna say what I used to be doing around this time. In my younger days.
I miss those. Yes, those used to be great.
You ever get that feeling to like go out to a club? That's what I do. I'll be feeling like, yeah, I'm gonna go out to the club, right? About 8 o'clock. Like I'm gonna go to the club. So what I do is I fix a drink and go sit in the car around 10 and listen to the club. And I go back in the house about 10:30 and I'm good. That's my club.
And be good to go.
Good to go. Good to go. Get some food and go to bed. Getting old, man. Getting old.
I do want to go out. There, somebody invited me to something like they said is a paint and smoke or is a smoke and paint or something like that. And I'm intrigued about that's the vibe I'm at. That's the stage of life I'm in right now. I'm in my shot day. I pop out here and there to make the money, to make an appearance, and then I go sit my behind back down. But if it ain't about the money, I don't want to go outside and spin the bag no more. Like it's other things like real responsibility stuff that I want to get done and accomplished. And if I'm sacrificing the club right now, that's okay with me. I do feel like I'm out of touch with a lot of stuff and a lot of things I'm missing because it's somebody had a interview the other day. I'm like, who is this artist? I don't even know who this person is. Like, what do they sing? Like, so I do feel like I'm missing things, but nah, I'm sacrificing. I'm getting to this money, getting to this to the grind and trying to find peace and joy in life, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't see myself being in the club. One, I don't really like people like that no more. And there's just too many people in the club in a tight area. I can't, I ain't the biggest dude in the world, but I ain't small neither. So then my knees start hurting, and my hips start hurting, and my back start hurting. Then, feet start hurting because you got to stand up. And then if you're sitting down, then I'm going to get a little tired because I'm drinking and I'm sitting down. Moral of the story is that I ain't supposed to be in the club. Lounge or restaurant, back to the crib. That's about it. Night over about 11:30. Night should be over. I should be coming back to the home about 11:30. Back in the house.
Full facts. Welcome to adulthood, y'all. Soon, kids. Soon come, kids. Soon come. This is y'all understand. Soon come. You'll understand.
Best advice I can give you: don't get old. I don't know how you're gonna achieve that, but don't do it. 'Cause the shit sucks.
Once I find my peace, I'm gonna enjoy my wisdom. Once I find my peace in my money, in my money, I'm going to be in heaven, in my wisdom, in my seasoned saint age.
I can dig it. I can dig it. I can dig it. Let's jump into this NBA to the playoffs, man. Let's talk about not last night's action now because it's Wednesday. Let's talk about Monday night's game. The Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder, where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Anthony Edwards are facing off in that series. And Anthony Edwards only had 16 points, I believe. He took 13 shots, was 5 for 13 or something like that. Some people were saying he choked. I didn't see it that way. I don't know if you watched that game or not, Jada. Did you get a chance to see that one the other night?
No, sir. I've been working on the things you told me not to speak about. But I saw a dope ass take from the Pivot podcast about Ant-Man. And I wanted to send it to you, but my computer anyway. But Ryan Clark said, he was like, yo, everybody's praising Anthony for he didn't took down all the old heads. Like he took down all his idols, but he's not showing up when he's playing against his peers, the people that he has to face against the next however many years, and they're getting the better hand of him. Like, yeah, he knocked off the old heads, but the old heads, they see, like you said, Bron, like, let's be real, Bron 40. Like, as much as I talk shit, like Bron is 40. Like, but like I found that a very interesting take that Ryan. I'm like, damn, that does make sense. Come on, Ant, step up, because we want to see these now. This is now the new age of basketball. Like we want to see. I'm rooting for Ant to step up. But how did you see that? How did you see his performance against his peers?
I would say that comment, although it sounds very, very, very intriguing to start a conversation, I would have to call Mr. Ryan Clark on that one because he, you do get Kevin Durant on that Phoenix Suns team that he defeated last year, but they also had Devin Booker. Devin Booker is not old enough to say that he is not Anthony Edwards' peer as far as the career, his career trajectory goes, right? Devin Booker is going to be around for another, 8 to, I got to think how many years Devin Booker's been in the league. So I would argue that there. He also did beat Jokic last year. Jokic is also, I would consider Jokic his peer, right? Because he's stepping into that superstar class that Jokic is already in. So I would have to say to RC, no, I don't agree with that. Now, this year with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Oklahoma City Thunder, I think OKC is the better team. I think OKC is set up to defend Anthony Edwards pretty well. When you talk about Shai, you talk about Alex Caruso, you talk about my man Dort. I can't think of his first name, but Dort, they have a plethora of guards they can throw at him that are physical, that can defend him. They're trapping him off of all pick and rolls. They're blitzing him. They're making him work really hard. So I would say that this is his first time playing Shai at this part of the season. So to say that he's not showing up to play against his peers, this is the first series where he's being outperformed by someone that you can say is his peer. Right? So to say he hasn't shown up or he's not showing up. And I think last night it wasn't about him not showing up. I think the game plan defensively for OKC bottled him up, and it was too much for him to overcome.
And who else does Ant have with him on that team? Like, who's the vet with Ant?
You got Julius Randle. I mean, the vet on that team is Michael Conley Jr. Mike Conley is in his 20th. I think Mike Conley and Greg Oden played together in high school. right? Like I think that's the year after me. That's like 2007, I think, is his draft class.
Yeah, Greg, like my year. Yeah.
Yeah. So Michael Conley Jr. has been in the league for forever, and he's a great player. But like that OKC team is just something special. I think right now OKC and Indiana, like you can tell there's something special going on with those two teams right now. Their star players are playing amazing. And I don't think it's a case of Ant-Man not showing up or Ant-Man choking or something like that. I just think that he's playing a better team right now, right? Again, it goes to this era that we live in where you can't lose, because I've seen shit about him choking and all of that. And I remember the first 9 years of the greatest player ever to play the game. Like I remember with his career, how it started, and this instant got to win championships. And if you don't perform to the best of your abilities every night, now you choke and all that. That's just this world we live in now, this era we live in now. That shit is crazy. It's ridiculous.
That's a full fact. Just something, a conversation to be had. Because then I hopped over to Joey and Jada podcast, their new podcast, which I enjoyed thoroughly. The Jada Kiss, I love him. And they were speaking of the Knicks, of course, two New Yorkers speaking of the Knicks and what needs to be done. And I thought about you in the conversation that we had, just about how the game has evolved, right? Like how the big men don't have to be in there in the paint, but it has a game like he had in game, what was that, game 2 or game 3? Did the Knicks lose tonight? I think they lost tonight, no?
The Knicks lost tonight, yeah.
What are they down, Coach?
They're down 3-1 now. Just like the other series. The other series with OKC and Minnesota, that's the series with Ant-Man and Shai Gilgeous. Oklahoma City's up 3-1 in that one as well. So both series are on the brink of completion. OKC needs one more win. Indiana needs one more win. And that leads to the next series with Indiana and the Knicks, with the Pacers and the Knicks. Tyrese Halliburton tonight had a triple-double, 35 points, I believe. I think it was like something crazy, 12 rebounds or 15 rebounds, 12 assists. But the brightest part of his stat line is he had 0 turnovers. It was pretty impressive.
And he the PG?
Watch. He is the point guard. He's about 6'5", 6'6". He's long, he can shoot it. He was voted. They do these anonymous votes in the NBA, and the players voted him the most overrated player in the league. And I love storylines. So this finals is setting up as the guy that everyone said is the most overrated player in the league, now getting a crack at the MVP and arguably the future face of the league in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So that storyline that looks like it's approaching is a really big one that I'm looking forward to. The Knicks just look like they just depend on one guy too much, which, I think that's just coming back to reality, that they're still in the same boat they were in last year before they made the trade for Karl-Anthony Towns. They are still one player away from being a legit contender. This is as far as they're going to make it with the roster that they have, and with your best player being someone who is barely 6'3", barely 6'2". So that this is just something the Knicks have to address. There's some free agents this offseason, obviously, Giannis being the one that everybody's going to be pursuing. The Knicks definitely need to try to find a way to throw their name in that hat to see if they can get the Greek Freak to come to New York, which would be huge marketing for the league, for Giannis. It'd be really big, really huge.
Giannis and Carl together?
If you have to move him,
but they will release Carl.
If you have to move him, you have to move him.
I don't think Carl is. I feel like Jalen's the problem. No
No,
shade. Like I feel like Jalen really does just ball hog way too much.
without
Like
Jalen Brunson,
he holding the ball too much.
who else do you have that can really create? If you take Jalen Brunson out of the equation, you guys are not here. You take Jalen Brunson off this team, the Knicks
Carl
are not
Anthony
making the
Towns ain't
playoffs.
do nothing this year. Carl Anthony did nothing this year.
If you take Jalen Brunson off the Knicks, you don't have a playoff team. You don't have a playoff team without Jalen.
You take
Everything
Carl Anthony off the Knicks, you don't have a playoff team either. That's what I'm
they had
saying. They
Julius
complement
Randle
each
last
other.
year.
They
They
need
had
each
Julius
other.
Randle last year. They had Julius. He wasn't on the team last year. This run isn't something that started with him. He's an addition that has made them better. But they were just as good last year without him, with Julius Randle.
I saw a clip with Julius. He didn't want to be there. I saw a clip. I wish I would have saved the interview. I think it was on Google or something. I literally just opened up in one of my browsers when I was trying to get to the studio. But it said that he wasn't happy in New York, and I didn't click on it because I was trying to get to the studio to set everything up. But I didn't even realize that he was one with New York, and two, because Jalen again played last year, right? Jalen was
Yeah.
on the Knicks.
Mm-hmm. He is the player that has revitalized the Knicks organization. He is the player that's done it. When they brought him over from Dallas, they turned back into a winner. Then that's why they went out and got all those boys from
It's cool
Villanova.
to revitalize.
Hmm?
It's cool to revitalize it, but if you're not using a key component in the whole scheme of it, then yeah, he could be the best player, but you're not utilizing what you got. Carl Anthony went off. What was it? Dominican Mother's Day, and he went off. He
All right,
legitimately is a big reason because
hello?
I figure like if they both go off together, if they both have big games together and they complement each other, then it's a better team. Because like you said, one player is not going to be able to take anybody to a championship. That's just it's not feasible. It's not going to happen. So even if he brings in a Greek freak, and he's still not giving up the ball, then we still at square one.
It's not. Because if the Greek freak comes in, Jalen Brunson now becomes the number 2 option. Right? Like Jalen Brunson is the number 1 option for the New York Knicks. That's not that he's the number 1 option. Anybody else could be number 2. One night it might be Karl Anthony Towns, one night it might be OG Anunoby, but one thing is a given about the Knicks, Jalen Brunson is the number 1 option. But if you bring in Giannis, he's no longer the number 1 option. He becomes the number 2 option. Now, if you can keep Karl Anthony Towns and have Giannis, now, absolutely. But if you have to move Karl Anthony Towns to bring in Giannis, yeah, you do that. The only person on your roster right now that you're not moving to get Giannis is Jalen Brunson. And there's so many teams.
To see if Giannis comes to New York.
I think, like I said, they have to put their name in the hat. If I'm Giannis, there are other situations that look just as good, if not better. Right? Dallas
Way better than New York. No shade to the Knicks.
That'd be a way better fit. If you think you got the number 1 pick, you probably can move some things around. Maybe you can throw AD in the deal. Maybe you can keep it. I don't know. But, Giannis, Seattle. Dallas is a better fit. A better option. San Antonio just got the number 2 pick. Think about having a front court of Giannis Antetokounmpo and Wemby. Right.
That's a legacy right there. That's David Robinson. That's some legacy something right there. I would want to see that one. Would not want to see Giannis at the Knicks.
Yeah, that would be. I think that's an intriguing situation if he goes to San Antonio and now you have, like you said, the Twin Towers 2.0. Where they're, Also, again, the Spurs have a huge history with international players. Think about Tim Duncan. You think about Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Boris Diaw, Thiago Splitter. He's not a huge name, but again, he's from Brazil. He's international, right? They have a huge international following. So having Giannis and Wemby, on the same team in Texas, that would be a huge draw with the European market. Same thing in New York, though. To have the Greek Freak in New York again, it would be huge. For the league financially, to have a marquee player from Europe in a market like New York, that would be huge. Like I said, if I'm Giannis, I'm looking at those other two options. There's another huge storyline from tonight's game with the Knicks and the Pacers. The Pacers won that game 130-121. Tyrese Halliburton, again, triple-double, 0 turnovers. Obi Toppin, the former Knick, was the player who put the dagger in the Knicks tonight. You trade a guy, and then he comes get the chance to play you in the playoffs. I know that's a dream come true. Have you ever been in that situation where you got a chance to play against an old team or an old coach? And
I call it my Jordan game, coach. I had a Jordan game at Fordham. I had the flu, sick as a dog. We was about to play Georgetown. The only reason I stayed at Fordham University my sophomore year because Coach Nikki Reed told me to stay there. I was going to transfer out because I wasn't getting no burn. And my boyfriend was leaving, so I was going Dipset. Nikki Reed told me to stay at Fordham University. Nikki Reed left Fordham University to go coach at Georgetown. So mind you, they had just disclosed to me that the reason why they wanted me to go prep was to bring in Nikki Reed's homegirl, Rebecca Brunson from Georgetown, to take my spot. That's why I wasn't getting no burn. And then Coach Reed was like, and then she told me to stay, and then she dipped out. Come shoot around. I couldn't even do shoot around, coach. Like I was sick as a dog. Couldn't even leave the locker room for shoot around. I took some nasty ass Buckleys and I slept in the locker room until that game started. Dude, when I tell you I kicked Georgetown's ass, and Coach Reed after the game, like it was so much so, like the coach of Georgetown came to me like, yo, like Coach Reed told me that you wasn't playing because you ain't even look her way. Nah, Coach Reed, you left me, bro. You told me to stay here. Beyond you told me to stay here, you also was about to be the reason why I wasn't coming to Fordham anyway. So like a whole round circle. Now let me kick Coach Reed ass just because you told me to stay here. I kicked Georgetown ass just because of that. But that was I had a moment like that playing against a former coach. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've had a couple of situations like that. It's always fun. A lot of fun.
Another story, coach. I want to say why Halliburton, two things. Why because I always hear the song now. What the Halliburton? Halliburton? I always hear that shit now.
Right.
But I feel like he turned up because his dad came to the game tonight. He came out of suspension, so that was his first game back from 8-game suspension. So he kicked all the way up. Like that was a dope ass, just all the way roundabout moment.
Yeah.
And then I saw a meme on
Go ahead, keep going. There's a delay again. Beg our pardon, there's a slight delay. So that's why me and Jada keep having these little situations where one of us will speak and then we'll stop because there's a slight delay.
My bad, coach. And then the other one was, I was just going to say there was a meme on Instagram where they said he plays like Urkel, the game Urkel turned up. And like whoever cut this damn thing on Instagram, when I tell you it was every shot Urkel did, every shot Halliburton did. Like I was like, yo, that shit is hilariously funny. But I'm happy for that young man.
I saw that. Yeah, his dad's band was lifted, and he was able to be in the building. I noticed they didn't have him on the floor; they had him up in the box. So they didn't have him on the floor tonight. He was in the box. So it's that was the adjustment made, I guess. And at the end of the day, that situation with Giannis, emotions were high. The pops was drunk. Them boys had an inward moment. But no, I'm glad he was back in there. Like I said, Halliburton is hooping. Is hooping. The W had a busy night tonight.
I ain't gonna hold you, Coach. It be annoying me with the W because it's hard to kind of keep up. You said this the other night, and because a lot of the games are on the West Coast, all the games start at like 9 o'clock. So it'll be 3 games on all at 9 o'clock, and I'm trying to bounce in between those 3 games to see what's going on. And it's just a lot. Like I tapped in a little bit to New York. Played. Who did New York play tonight?
The Valkyrie.
I want to say Seattle. Don't quote me on that.
No, they played Golden State. They played the Valkyrie.
Golden State. Yes.
Played the Valkyrie. And then it was a 95-67 win for the New York Liberty, who improved to 4-0. Sabrina Stewart had 24 points, 3 rebounds. 1 rebound. I don't know why they put that stat up there. And three assists. JJ had 13 and 10. And so the Liberty improved to 4-0. Defending champ still going nice and strong. The Dallas Wings played the Connecticut Sun. The Wings won that 109-87. Paige Buckers put in 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. And for the Sun, in a losing effort, Miss Tina Charles had 27 points and 6 rebounds. The Wings, I don't know if I can use the term improve their record. They got a win, so they're 1-4, and the Sun are 0-5. So Paige seems to be coming into her own. The game is probably slowing down for her a lot, which is always, like I said, I mentioned that before. It's always the case, from each level. I remember my first college game. We were at UNC Charlotte, and it was so hard to keep anybody in front of me because the game was just moving so much faster than I was used to.
I definitely I can't remember. I feel like I had that experience in practice. I remember distinctly having that feeling in practice, like, oh nah, this is a different level, like college a different level. And even overseas a little bit, but it wasn't because we were playing with high school kids. But Paige is definitely coming into her own. Again, we said this a couple of shows ago how we could look at the Suns and whatever record, but they really are structuring all over again. Like Diana Taurasi, they had a dynasty, well, not a dynasty, but they had a pretty good structure for years and years and years to work with the Suns, the Phoenix Suns. So although their record is 0-5,
you know what though? You do that, right? And I've done it before too. Connecticut is the Sun in the NBA, in the WNBA. And the Phoenix Suns, the team of Phoenix is the Mercury. So, but you're used to saying the Suns because of the Phoenix Suns.
You're right. Yeah,
I've done that several times too. So that's why I was like, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, the Mercury.
Yeah, who is on that Connecticut squad? Connecticut. Who is AT left, Bonner left. Who on that Connecticut squad?
Yeah, they're not. Tina Charles is there. The lady, the girl they traded for last year, Mabry, whatever. I can't say her name. So
Yes.
She can hoop, but she came in last year. She went to Notre Dame. But yeah, both of those teams are, there's a reason Dallas Wings got the number 1 pick, right? They have a way to go. And the Connecticut Sun seem to be in a rebuild mode too. They lost the majority of their team from last year. Tina Charles is still going strong. Like I said, she had 27 tonight. In other action, the Seattle Storm fell to the Minnesota Lynx, 82-77. Gabby Williams led the way for the Lynx with 20 points. Ms. Diggins also dropped 18. They improved to 3-2. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Seattle is 3-2, and Minnesota improved to 5-0. They were led by Courtney Williams, who had 23 points. She's balling so far this year. She's really taken the momentum from last season into this season. And Nafisha Collier had a double-double, 16 and 10, and the Lynx improved to 5-0. A lot of games tonight. 5 games on the WNBA slate tonight. The Chicago Sky fell to the Phoenix Mercury, 89-94.
Chicago's struggling over there, man. They
Are
struggling
0-4.
over there.
0-4. And the Mercury improved to 4-1. They have one of the German sisters, Sabule. I love both of those young ladies. They're really, I fell in love with her sister last year during the final. She just seemed like a really sweet young lady. Who was kind of quiet and shy. And then I heard a little bit about her story. And then I just love the fact that they both were celebrating the way they celebrated together last year. But Phoenix is really not being. I mean, there's supposed to be a rebuild year for them, losing Diana Taurasi, losing BG, but they're finding their stride. They're 4-1 right now. In the last game of the night, the Atlanta Dream went out west and defeated the LA Sparks 88-82.
Oh, that was a good game.
Yes. Gray dropped 25 points for Atlanta, and Darica Hamby had 28 points in the loss. The Dream improved to 4-2, so they're playing pretty well. And the Sparks are at an unimpressive 2-4. Kelsey Plum dropped 27 points as well.
KP been dog. Come on, dog. She been kicking up. KP been Alicia. She had to get up under Becky and them. She had to get up under Alicia. Let her go. KP been doing this since college. KP been doing this.
Absolutely.
So I'm happy to see that she's finding her place and her name is ringing. She's able to do what she's always been able to do more with LA this year. Absolutely. Not to take away from what she did with Vegas, because that was I loved that Vegas team. I loved the whole unit of that team. But clearly there was something there that stifled KP's performance. And now we get to see it this year with LA. So I'm definitely for that. And it was something else some other game you said I wanted to say something on, but I can't even remember. Ruben.
Yeah, I think when you're in a different situation, sometimes the roster is a little different. She's a little higher on the pecking order in LA than she was in Vegas. Right, her role was a little different. I think what I've seen from her a little bit more this year is she's a little bit more creative on the ball. It's not so much, when she's coming off the pick and roll. In Vegas, it's her looking to get the ball to Asia on the roll. She was spotting up the shoot. This year, you see her handling the ball a lot more. And being a lot more creative. That's one thing I've noticed. But the standings are starting to form in the W, and the Liberty are on top of the East Coast of the Eastern Conference with a 4-0 record. So the defending champs are back in the same position they were in last year. And on the West Coast, the Lynx are in the same position, 5-0, sitting on top of the Western Conference. So, I mean, obviously, if the season ended today, the favorable matchup in the finals, WNBA finals, would be the Liberty and the Lynx. That would give us a rematch of last season. So we could be on the verge of that. I know it's really early, but hey, who knows?
Because right now, I honestly just looking at the matchups, those are like literally just they really do stand out. Those two teams, watching those two teams play this year, like they really do. There do I dare say there is a tier difference maybe when I'm watching them play against some of the other team? Like Vegas look like they're just trying to figure it out. I don't know why they're allowing, and it's again no shade to Asia because I love her game. But Asia Wilson has been playing a lot on the perimeter this year, like bringing the ball up, like literally bringing the ball up when you have the point guard. Like I just don't understand. Like, I understand the evolution, but that's not what we need her right now, especially if you don't have another big girl in the paint, and they just don't right now. Um, I love to see what Tina Charles can do. I want to see what Brittany Griner will do down in Atlanta, because her name, I don't think we've heard much from Brittany other than she had a confrontation a couple of games ago with the refs. But I don't think we've heard much from Brittany Griner at all this season down in Atlanta. I want to hear more from her. I want to see more from Brittany.
You know, Father Time is undefeated no matter what sport we talk about.
True,
PG's
true.
around for a while. She's, you know, that's just, you know, the changing of the guard happens. You know, it's happening in the WNBA. I mean, it's happening in the NBA, excuse me, and it's happening in the WNBA as well, right? Like yeah, I mean, but yeah, she's in Atlanta. I'm sure, you know, she's gonna bring value, especially, you know, playoff time when the game slows down. You know, on both sides of the ball, you know, that's when I think she will be. That's when it's really going to pay off to have her on your roster. It's playoff time. Right? It's the dream right now, 4-2, so they're in the mix. Again, it doesn't matter what level you play. Doesn't matter if you're talking men's, women. When it comes to playoff time, the game is going to slow down because the defensive intensity is going to pick up.
Full facts. I definitely understand that. Full facts.
Absolutely. So we covered that. That's the WNBA and NBA action tonight. That took
Coach, I
place.
did have
Mhm.
speaking Asia Wilson. Can I bring this to your attention? Because we were, and I meant to say this earlier because we were speaking in NBA, but I saw an article. I actually read the whole article where they might be thinking about letting Bam go down in. I think he's up for free agency or something like that. But they might be thinking about letting him go, and where he would land next year. And one of the spots in the article was San Antonio. So
Yeah.
just that would be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's again, if you can't land Giannis, Bam would be a great addition. Right. Again, that's another. You can still have a two, you know, like a twin tower setup with him in Wemby. I think teaming up, you know, Wemby with another big. I like Giannis a little bit more than I like Bam because Giannis is a little bit more dominant on the block and getting to the basket, right? And really he's going to allow Wemby to stretch the floor, which even at his size, you know, he's really good at. With Bam, you kind of get the best of. I ain't gonna say the best of both worlds. You get a guy who can do both. Not really. I don't think is great at either, you know, shooting or creating a shot for himself on the block, but he's good at both of them. Right? Not great at either one, but he's solid at both. And then defensively, obviously, with either one of those two guys next to Wemby, I mean, rim protection and rebounding is through the roof. You know, so that I think both of those. I'm pretty sure both of those guys are on the Spurs wish list, depending on how the draft plays out and all that. So
Is CP still with the Spurs? Although CP is aging, but as a point guard, like if he had them, that's Blake Griffin. That's Clipper. That's Clipper
right,
season.
I think their point guard of the future is De'Aaron Fox. That's who they have now. Who they got over. They traded for him from Sacramento. CP is more of a coach. I saw something earlier. I don't know how true it was, and I can confirm it now because I never, but I saw something about CP retiring this year, which
Oh, it's about
he,
that
he
time.
yeah,
But
it's definitely about that time. I mean, Chris was at Wake Forest when I was at GW. We started the season with them in the NIT my sophomore year. And so we're 40 years old. He hasn't retired yet, but I'm pretty sure it's coming. If not this year, next year. But his role on a
definitely.
team right now is more of a coaching role.
Speaking of retirement, we didn't really tap on this here on this show, but Diana Taurasi retired from the W. So that's been interesting not seeing her play on that side of the game. Like just her absence. We got used to not seeing Sue Bird. Now we're used to not seeing Diana Taurasi, but their little interaction that they have. I don't know if they do it, but on only during women's NCAA, they have a television show they do during the shows, but it's very entertaining over there. Just to speak of somebody that was retired, so shout
Yeah,
out to
I know they do it for the women's tournament, and then they also do it for the playoffs. I don't know if they do like a regular podcast. They should. They definitely should. I think they might. They're definitely funny. They have great energy together. And the pen just flew across my laptop. I was trying to grab a pen to write something down. I guess the pen didn't want me to do that. It definitely just flew across the screen. But yeah, no, they're definitely pretty funny. I know they had one year where they were saying some of the most inappropriate shit ever. They just kept going further and further. Like, all right, I guess this is what we're doing.
And kept going. And didn't care. It gave no shit, yo.
This is what we're doing. Like, all right, it's funny to me too. So, yeah,
Speaking of commentary, I saw this article earlier, Coach. The people were mad again at Miss Doris Burke about something she said during commentary. Doris she's another one that be saying some outlandish shit that will land up on Twitter on a good trend.
Right. Getting old. They just say whatever comes to their head.
Oh, for the people, Coach. No, because I don't even want to disclose that information yet. I'm not going to disclose that. Yep, I'm gonna keep that tucked. But you already know what I'm talking about. But we're not even going to disclose that yet.
Right. So you know what happened the other day? I think it was yesterday. Not yesterday, day before yesterday, because again it's right just after midnight. That cheese race thing. Have you ever seen this nonsense? I'm sorry. I'm gonna just call it what it is. It's some white people stuff. They go down this. They had this like wheel of cheese, and they roll the cheese down the hill, and people like run after, and they be falling down the hill, messing themselves up bad, like losing speed, like losing control of how fast they're running and flipping over. And it is, Google it. It's called like the cheese race or something. It is the dumbest thing.
Wisconsin shit.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know if it's in this country. I don't know where. It has to be an American thing because it's that stupid, right? Like it's up there with like running with the bulls. It's up there for me with that. It's like things you don't have no business doing. Just dumb for no reason.
Coach, you ain't running with the Bulls. I regretted not doing that when I played in Spain. I regretted that.
Yeah, I'll run with the mascot of the Chicago Bulls. That's what I do. I ain't running with no bull. What's the point?
That's a fact. For the same reason I jumped out of a plane. What's the point?
I don't get it. I jump out of a plane, maybe. I doubt it, but I maybe. But I doubt it.
I did it once. I can't say I'll do it again. It was the free fall. The free fall, I was done. Nah, I'm good. I did not like that feeling. Once the parachute came and we were like soaring and floating, I was in love with it. Like just being above and seeing God's view, like really out, and it's wrapped around you. That was cool. But that free fall and you just out there falling, oh, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Won't do it again.
Yeah, I can dig that. I have some real questions about some of these. Well, tonight was the BET Awards.
Nah, that's June.
Oh,
no, the AMAs was last night.
Oh,
the AMAs was last night.
Okay. So BET had a picture of somebody at the AMAs. So Sierra. I can dig it.
BET, can I get my media passes again? Thank you, because I definitely was on the blue carpet. BET 19, BET Awards. I've done Black Girls Rocks a million times. Hip Hop Awards, done that. BET, could y'all love Jada J and Don't Judge My Life Media? Come on, bless us. Okay. Jesse Collins, hey boo, hey friend.
I can dig it. Oh, I saw something interesting. It's also basketball related. Derek Lively, who was a member of the Dallas Mavericks. I think he was like 19 or 20 years old. Played at Duke for 1 year, I think. Just had a growth spurt. So he was drafted at 7 feet tall. And now he is 7'3". Just had
How
a
old
growth
is
spurt
this
over the
guy?
season. Yeah,
How? When do men stop growing? How?
21, 21. Yeah, 21. Like they say 18, but I know several men who've grown while in college and after college. I got a homeboy who graduated high school at like 6'1", 6'2", and then after high school grew to be 6'7". He missed the basketball window. So yeah, but Derek Lively is saying he grew another. Let's see how old he is. They got a picture of him and AD and another dude. He's 21 years old. Yep, he's 21. Birthday's February 12th, 2004. They're saying he was 7'1" as of last year, and they're saying that he is now 7'3".
2 inches matter.
Pause.
Definitely no pause.
I'm gonna call pause on that one. Don't talk to me like that, Jacob.
your, your face. I'm gonna edit this shit, put it, and I'm gonna zoom your face.
Don't talk to me like that. That is inappropriate. You knew what you were saying. You knew exactly what you were saying. Mm-hmm.
Y'all play too much. Oh. Damn, it was other shit that I had. I didn't read the article though. I wanted to read the article. There's something came out with Tim Duncan said it was some things about the NBA he didn't like. I wanted to read that article. I didn't get to it. And I wanted to read the article. Something it gave the list of the other athletes who retired after 40. Like LeBron wasn't the only athlete that retired after 40. And I think I saw Kareem was on that list.
It's not
If he
about
was,
it's not about them retiring after 40. It's about them being at the same level that he is at 40.
facts.
Kareem was not at the same level as LeBron when he was at 40. Kareem could barely get up and down the court. I remember being a little boy watching Kareem's last game, and Kareem was out there looking like a mummy with his goggles and his 100 knee pads, right? And I had the pleasure of playing for Cap when I had my little bit of time with the Lakers because he was on the staff. But yeah, he wasn't. I think the only other person, I'm not going to say the only other person, in basketball, nobody else has been able to do that, right? In football, you got Tom Brady, who was like 45. He won a Super Bowl in his 40s. And even that, they changed the position where you couldn't touch him. But still, to go out there and do it and win a Super Bowl. I think the one he won in Tampa Bay, he was over 40 and won that. I'm trying to think of other sports, but just in the physical sports like basketball and hockey and football, it's not typical for a guy to remain at a high level into his 40s, right? What makes LeBron so special as an athlete is that LeBron has been able to stay in his physical prime, like his athletic prime, and his mental prime for as long as he's been able to do it. Like most players can't do that, right? Like you even look at Michael Jordan. For his first 7 to 9 years in the league, first 7 years in the league, MJ was in his athletic prime. He'd take off and dunk on people. He jumped higher than everybody. He just, you know what I mean? Like he was in his athletic prime. Then when they started winning championships, he started to tap into his mental prime and his athletic prime. And he was in that window where you're in both of those primes at the same time. And then the second 3 championships, he started to decline from the athletic prime. And his mental prime was able to carry him, but still a pretty high level of athleticism, but he wasn't in his athletic prime anymore. right? That window only lasted maybe for MJ, maybe 4-5 years where he was in both athletic and mental prime. LeBron has been able to carry that over 20 years where he's been able to be in that athletic and mental prime, right? And his mental prime didn't kick in until he got his ass kicked by Dallas. Before then, he was just all athletic prime. He was just all athletic. Then after he got his ass kicked by Dallas in the finals and he didn't perform well, then his mental prime started to kick in. He was able to carry that. His athletic prime has started to decline here over the last like 2 to 3 years. His athleticism is starting to, you can tell, like the dunks and stuff that he used to do when he was in his 20s and 30s don't look the same anymore, right? But he's still super athletic, but he's no longer in his athletic prime. And I think he's in his mental prime, but that's going to start dwindling away here too, because again, he's 40. And it's not that it's going to dwindle, it's just going to be that to require that athletic prime is still going to require a certain amount of the athletic prime to be successful. And I think it's going to eventually go out of the window. It's going to deplete here, another 2 years. I think next year, and then one more after that, and that last year being like his tour. That should be it for Bron. He has nothing else to prove. It's just going to be, why are you still doing this?
I need his last year to be playing. I need it to be him, Bronny, and Bryce all on a team together. Give me the storybook fucking finish, goddamn NBA. Since y'all be rigging everything else, give me the storybook ending of LeBron's career. That'll top me off.
I don't want to see that. I'm okay with Bronny. I don't want to see, unless Bryce gets a lot better between now and the next year's draft or the following year's draft, I don't want to see it because it's not fair to him. I think that would be something they think about, right? Because I'm sure that this has been mentally taxing on Bronny to hear some of people's views on him and the process that he's taken to pursue his future. I don't think that you want to subject Bryce to that, right? Like, why? Again, Bryce has not done half of what Bronny did in high school. So it would only be worse. What Bronny's gone through with the media, it would be 10 times worse for Bryce because, again, he has not achieved any of the things that Bronny achieved in high school. Bronny was a McDonald's All-American. Cannot forget that. Bronny scored 15 points in the McDonald's All-American game.
Okay, was Bronny an All-American because Bronny was Bronny James, like he made a name for himself, or was he? Because when I remember watching his highlights from Sierra Canyon, and Bronny really didn't. He never really like stuck out to me. He never really. Yeah, like I remember seeing maybe like I want to say maybe 3 clips I saw of Bronny James in his senior year at Sierra Canyon. And I'm like, nah, he was kicking up. And I ain't saying that because maybe it's a lot of stuff I missed because I wasn't tapped all the way in. Like I wasn't looking every day for his stats and things like that. So maybe I missed something. But I just feel like, I don't know. Like I feel like a lot of that contribute to that Bronny was very popular.
Bronny was very high. He was very popular in high school, but Bronny was a kid that was small, that wasn't that good, and then out of nowhere he got super athletic. His jump shot improved, and he, like I said, was a McDonald's All-American. He was a 4-star recruit. The consensus like that's not easy to become a 4-star recruit in high school. Like you can't do that off of popularity. You actually have to go places and show up and perform to get a 4-star coming out. Like I wasn't a 4-star, and I was ranked 67th in the country at one point. Never was a 4-star recruit. Right.
Okay, can I ask? It's a different game now. The top kids are all only playing EYBL, so it's a smaller bracket in order to get these numbers for them to be
EYBL is only elite kids, though.
That's what I'm saying. So it's a smaller where when you were competing for this, like everybody. Well, maybe I don't know, because when I was so please teach me something, because when I didn't understand how good I was that I was being invited to those 5-star camps and things like that. So teach me and the listeners, coach, what it like, how do you get to those? Because in my head, I'm thinking like, if you just good and your team is good, then they're gonna put you at the, because how the fuck did I get there? I don't know. Put us on, like, because in my head again it's just popularity because who he was. Because in my head I wasn't supposed to be at no damn 5-star. How the fuck do people get to these ABCD camps, to 5-star camps,
Somebody's eye.
to
You have to
McDonald's
catch
All
somebody's eye.
Americans?
You being able to play the game has to draw people's attention, right? Like that's what you did. Like you did something to separate yourself from others. That's how you get it. But I just wanna recap Bronny's senior season. Okay. They went to Europe. Like, I'm not even gonna do it. Let me look at. They played DeMatha Catholic, which is a school from here, which is nationally ranked. And that's the game that got canceled. So we're not gonna talk about that one. Crossroads, which is a national powerhouse. He had 25 against them. I think that's one of the games they played in like an NBA arena. I remember the team people were flying around playing. The Nike Hoop Summit, he scored 15 points, hit 5 threes. McDonald's All-American game, he had 15 points. Right, like he was a ESPN top 100 kid. He got offers from Duke and Kentucky. Let's keep going. Early in junior season, coming off season-ending injury, James fell from the 52nd player to the 49th player in the rankings. So Bronny was like, again, 4-star recruit by Rivals, 4-star by ESPN. Now, you're saying, why was Bronny more popular than Bryce? Because if somebody's living off their popularity right now, it's Bryce. It ain't Bronny. Like Bronny had a pretty good high school career, and if Bronny doesn't again have open heart surgery his freshman year at USC, I'm pretty sure he has a different freshman year at USC, and things are different. I have not seen that type of potential from Bryce. Again, Bryce's highlight to his high school career right now is coming off the bench and scoring 16 points in a game. That is the highlight of his high school career. So, like I said, it was one thing to do it with Bronny, but to do nepotism with Bryce, that would almost be like, at this point, that would almost be like a team drafting Giannis's brother. Thanos, whatever. That would be like a team drafting him.
Okay.
That's not.
Are we not here for that?
No. I'm here for him getting a job the way he got a job. His brother put him on. Yeah. A team drafting him? No. So if Bryce doesn't get drafted and they sign him through free agency, he goes summer league, he does all that, cool. If he stays at the same trajectory that he's at right now. But to see him get drafted and no, because he's not trajecting that way. Bronny was trajecting as a draft pick. He was projecting that. That's his trajectory was saying he was going to be a draft pick. All right. If Bronny doesn't have open heart surgery, he probably stays in school. But if I'm LeBron James and my son has a dream of playing in the NBA and he almost died pursuing that, you're not going to waste any time.
Facts. That's a full fact.
This is what people always skip over with the Bronny situation, is the kid almost died. He did die. He went into cardiac arrest during pickup and had to be rushed to the hospital. And a year later, he's competing to chase his dream. Nobody's talking about that. That's not the storyline anybody's talking about. And it stemmed from the hate for his father. which I can't
Stephen A.
understand. I can't understand. It stems from the hate from his father. I can't understand that. If your kid comes home and says, "I want to be like Michael Jordan," you could say, "Yeah, okay," but Michael Jordan had a gambling problem. Michael Jordan was kind of an asshole. If your kid comes to you and says, "I want to be this person," there's very few athletes that reach LeBron James level, LeBron James status, where if your kid comes to you and say, "I want to be LeBron James," why would you say anything but okay, let's do it? This man ain't never been in no bullshit. This man's with his high school sweetheart. This man
Was a
is
black
with his
woman,
kids every day,
black children.
right? Like, this is what made me become a LeBron. I wasn't a LeBron James fan at the beginning of it because we were same graduating class, right? So I wasn't a LeBron James fan. I looked at him as an adversary. At some point, I'm gonna see you, right? Like that. That's how I looked at him. But to watch him evolve, to watch him grow, to watch how people just despise this man, all because he's an actual threat to the throne. That's what it is. He's an actual threat to LeBron's throne. I mean, to Michael Jordan's throne. He's an actual threat. There's an actual conversation. And I'm a Jordan baby. Again, the reason I played the game of basketball is because the way he made it look, he made that shit look so sexy. Made it look just so, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Up in the air, going up through people, around people. Oh, I'm not even gonna look at it. I'm gonna just kiss it off the glass like this and I'm gonna hit myself. I'm that good, I'm gonna find myself. Bam. You know what I mean? So, but reality is reality, man. What LeBron has done, the longevity, like people are actually like holding his longevity against him. Think, where does that make sense? Well, he only passed Michael Jordan because he played this many years. Huh? So now that the fact that he's been able to stay at a high level for 20 some years, that's a problem. Come on, man.
Brian definitely my goat.
Yeah, he's not my GOAT. He's my best player of all time, but he's not my GOAT. MJ is my GOAT. I'd stand on that. I think Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player to ever play, but LeBron James is the best basketball player to ever play. That is.
I want to go to, because you were speaking on sons and fathers. My bad, y'all. I want to go on Deion Sanders and his sons, and then trickle off of that. Travis Hunter getting married to that good old wife and buying that expensive gift. Kind of talk about those two topics right there, because we saw the hate, heavy heart, what the NFL did to the Sanders family, just for the greatness of who Deion Sanders is.
Yeah, yeah, and Dion and Shador didn't help that situation any, right? Like, what, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they shouldn't have to. I think I don't really rock with the NFL like that. And let me rephrase that, because who knows what this may grow into. I'm definitely going to be doing NFL stuff. We'll definitely be doing NFL stuff during the football season. I got a bunch of my homeboys that are excited about that part. When I told them, during I will do some NFL pick'em type stuff, and they'll get, I would love for them to have a chance to come on here and talk about their teams as fans of teams, so they're excited about that. So, I don't want to like not talk about the NFL or block that blessing that could potentially come down the line. But at the same time, I have an issue with the NFL because it has a real master slave kind of
mentality.
relationship thing that I just feel, right? From the combine, stripping them boys down to their spandex and having them running and jumping and testing them and poking them and prodding them and doing body fat tests, and it just resembles something about it makes me think of the old trading block. It just, that's the reality
1,000%.
of it for me.
1,000%. Like so much so, it's a clip. Your boy Jamie Foxx was sitting with the Cowboys owner, and this
Jerry
man is
Jones.
talking about what's his name, Jerry what?
Jones.
Talking about another man's penis? Come on, my dude.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Wow, that was wild.
like what that
I
got
guess
to do with football?
Jamie fumbled the damn thing, that damn phone, trying to cut it off so fast. Trying to cut the motherfucker off so fast. He fumbled it. Yeah, that's the. I've had that feeling dealing with some AAU parents though, right? Like, um, especially when I had younger kids, there was a group of parents.
Ooh, coach cut off real quick. I'm very intrigued to see where he's going with that conversation about with his parents, because I need to know how that ties into this conversation right here. You are tuned into Mid Major Mindset, guys. I am Jada J, the voice you're listening to right now. One part of Mid Major Mindset with my homie, my guy, Coach Danny P, in the building, guys. 2A10 former athletes. That's my computer in the background fan going haywire, guys. So, yep, that's the real life of what's happening on Mid Major Mindset. I live in a van, so don't judge my life, y'all. Y'all gonna rock with us. I'm talking this much because we got to get Coach back on stage because I need to hear what he was saying about that story. Oh, Coach completely knocked all the way out. Hmm. We gonna give Coach time to get back here, guys. We were talking about Coach Prime and how they treated him, and I remember in college, I think there was a book. I think if I remember it correctly, called The Black Athlete. I think that's what it was called, and it really broke down like the concept of slavery and how the black athlete is perceived through sports. So that's I hope I'm saying that book title the correct way. I hope that's the right book I'm saying and shouting out right now. I can't remember, that was so long ago. But yeah, guys, mid major mindset. J to J holding it down until Coach comes back into the room. We're talking sports, all things sports. Now we're trickling into the NFL and just different things. I'm not sure if I 100% would let my child play football, understanding that the risk that these athletes take to their bodies, and then the outcome, like they are treated like, in my opinion, like cattle. Like they're picked, like they're prodded. They're like Coach said. So, and then they're not paid when they walk away with CTE and these mental injuries because they're getting their head knocked off, like throughout the season. So the game has definitely changed where some people don't like the new rules of the NFL where it's kind of like less contact and you can't hit for headshots. Because I definitely remember liking those old school highlight films of NFL, the hit highlights. I don't know if anybody else used to watch those out there growing up, but I was definitely a fan of that. Hey, y'all, don't judge my computer, yo. Real life. If Coach don't come back in the next 2 minutes, I'm gonna shut this down, and we're gonna come back to y'all on the next episode. Cause I definitely want to get into Travis Hunter too, and get into how a lot of people, if y'all didn't know, he got married a little bit after the draft, and just the situation he's in over there with his fiance or his now wife, and it looks like she's pregnant as well. So that's a very interesting conversation. But I don't know, guys. I don't see Coach. I'm gonna tie this up. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Mid major mindset. Keep rocking with us because it's gonna get better. I promise you that. I promise you that. For Coach P, I'm gonna sign off. I am J to J. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Mid major mindset.
J. Watch the movement. Welcome, King and Queens. You could be anywhere on earth, but you right here with me. Rocking with J to J. Watch the movement. Don't judge my life. LLC, J to J21. Watch the movement. Don't judge my life. Don't judge my life.
And Coach, we back. All right, then I'm glad I did shut it down. We here. Something told me
Yeah,
to.
I'm back.
Something told me to stick around. All right, we here.
You can hear me pretty good?
Yes, sir. You coming loud and clear, sir.
Good, good. I had to go to my backup situation here.
Let me get this off the screen. Hold on. Hey, we here, guys. Thank y'all for rocking with us. We back. Mid-major mindset. Coach P in the building. We got to hear what you were saying about your parents because I was intrigued. I was enthralled. I wanted to know where you were going with that.
Oh, man, you're going to have to remind me where we was at because I had a little scramble just now to
We were
figure out how I was going to get back.
what the computer died. Where
Yeah,
I'm
my
at. There we
computer
go.
died.
Thank you for getting us back on. We were speaking of coach and how the NFL treats their athletes and AAU. You were talking about AAU parents and
Oh,
how they might.
yeah. Yeah, back in the day, with the group of parents I had, like we would walk in the gym and they'd be so fearful of other black kids and the way they would talk about them, right? They'd be like, "Oh yeah, man, like he's good. Look at the way he walks." Right? Like, what the fuck does that mean? Right? Oh man, look at the way he walks, man. Like, he's good at basketball. Like, bro, it almost doesn't sound right to me. And that was something I used to me and a couple of my parents used to talk about, right? Like that. It just felt a little weird to hear parents talk like that. So um get the same feeling with the NFL combine and some of the stuff they do. And it was pretty clear that actual like measurements and what you can do was not what they were judging Shador by or what they were grading him by in this year's draft.
At all. While we here, we going to shout out Shiloh too. Cause Shiloh
Absolutely.
my favorite. Shiloh definitely. Shiloh, Bossy, and Bucky are my favorite in that order. But Shiloh was really, really holding down his brother, and Shiloh was coming with all the jokes as he does. Shout out the Headache Gang CEO. I've been a Shiloh fan because he's the black sheep. Like since they were kids, since their reality TV show when they were children, Shiloh has been Shiloh from Shiloh days. Like Kanye has been Kanye since Kanye days. Like we know who Kanye West is. We know who Shiloh Sanders is. And I like that young man. I think he's a dope young man and he's coming into his own. So I like that he got an opportunity to get picked up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that we know who Kanye is because I don't know that Kanye know who he is.
Facts. That's a fact. I miss the old Kanye.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, the new Kanye a little too controversial for me.
I tried and I felt dumber after I watched the shit. I felt dumb as hell. I watched his interview with Academic and I don't even really support Academic. I don't even know what made me watch this whole Kanye West interview while he's standing up here insulting my intelligence in this black KKK fucking outfit, having this whole fucking conversation with Academic. Like I just felt dumber after watching that shit, yo.
Yeah, it makes sense. It completely makes sense. Like I know academics. I don't know a whole bunch about him, but he don't come off as the smartest young brother to me. Let me take that back. He comes off as a young brother who has a lot of. Oh, my computer came back on. I don't know if that's gonna mess us up or not. Let me just close that for right now. Yeah, he comes off as a brother that don't have a lot of common sense. He puts himself in some situations that are kind of dangerous.
Just for clicks though, but that's that whole internet
Yeah.
shit. That's that whole blogging podcast shit. Like for the YouTube clicks, for the I fussed with somebody, this young lady, she's a creator on YouTube, and she was doing a series on women basketball coaches that got caught messing with players. And that shit kind of irked me because, and I knew a situation was gonna come up because it's a young lady that I played against in the A10, and she ended up being in a situation like this for one of the teams she was coaching for. So I kind of knew that like an episode about her was gonna come up. Like Pokey Chapman came up, and I can't remember another one that came up. But and so her episode came up, and I had to ask the creator. I was like, "What's the purpose of you doing this?" Like I remember, like I literally said this to her, like what's the outcome of this? Where are you going with this storytelling? Like there are so many other stories to be told in women's sports. Like why are you telling these stories? Like, and you're not giving us like no resolve or anything like that. You just telling these stories of what, to shame these people for doing this? Like, and I don't know if she got back to me, but I did notice how her content did become a little bit more positive. It became more driven towards telling some type of fucking other story than just the drama shit. Because of course the drama's always going to sell. That shit's always going to sell. But then you're damaging people. Like, and these people have lives that need to live after this shit. And I guess because this is personal. These are our peers, D. Like these are our motherfuckers we know in real life. So I don't know. That shit just wasn't cool to me. But clickbait, people do that shit. Academic.
Yeah, it is definitely clickbait, but at the same time, a topic like that, you kind of got it. That's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like that's going to be discussed because it's a sticky situation. How does this impact a program? Does this coach show favoritism? What happens when they argue? Is there a power structure there? Right? Like there's so many there's so many avenues to abuse through something like that, right? Like, so I think it's hard not to, if you're a journalist, if you're sometimes doing the job is doing the job. I think if you're in journalism long enough, there's going to be something that you're going to report on or something that's going to make you really think where your boundaries are. Um, figure out where your boundaries are because yeah, you're gonna have to report some things that maybe you don't want to report, but the story needs to be told. And I think that yeah, coaching I remember when that was a hot topic in the women's game. Um, and yeah, I mean I could see how it could be treacherous for you if you know somebody in that situation. But imagine if it was a men's coach dating a women's player in college, right? Or a man, openly gay man dating one of his players. Uh, that would be front page news
As it
on.
was, because
Yeah.
one of the episodes was about Pat Summitt's son.
Right.
What's his name? Tyler. I forget his name. I should know him because he grew up in my eyes. But he got caught up in a situation like that. He was messing with one of his athletes as he became the head coach of this situation. Like, so I definitely get it. But okay, so but then in those situations, so like I understand delivering the story, but why not go after like the high school coaches or who are really really on some predatory type shit to bring some resolve to something like that? You just telling old ass stories just to get clicks. Like, nah, if you really want to be a journalist, then go get a story. Go get a story. Go motherfucking dig up these like go get us. I don't know. I just
Yeah,
be feeling
why is it less damaging if it's a college coach doing it to a college player? Why is it less of a story?
because a lot of those situations are consensual
That's not
and they're
that's
still
not the
18 and it's 100% wrong, coach. It's 100. I would never
no.
I can't. I'm
Hello.
listening, coach.
No, I wouldn't say anything. I was listening to you.
I'm not condoning it and saying it's right because I would not mess with any of my any child that I'm coaching. I would not mess with. Like that just never has come across my mind to do. Sorry guys for my computer, but it's just what I'm dealing with right now. Don't judge my life. But when it I think it's more damaging because it's high school kids and you're more impressionable. And in college, like these are 18-year-olds in there or 18 to 21-year-olds and now 18 to fucking 28-year-olds. So it's a little bit
Yeah, now it's a little
closer
different.
age gap.
So you think that a 14-year-old or 15-year-old who is in high school playing sports is less impressionable than a 18-year-old who's playing college sports? Because I think that 18-year-old is even more impressionable because of the amount of pressure that is applied. Right? If I'm 18 and I'm a freshman in college, I want to play. So I'm more impressionable, right? Like I think that I don't think that there's a difference really, right, between a high school player and a college player, especially a freshman. Um, so think of if a coach is messing with a player, and really the age thing is one thing, but the power, right? Like it's almost like the Diddy situation. Where does the power stop? Are you telling this, what happens when you as a couple have a bad day and you're coaching the player? What happens when your player and another player get into it and you're dating one of the players? How are you not showing favoritism? How are you not? And if you don't show favoritism, now that's conflict in your relationship. Now, does that carry over to practice?
Hey yo, was Wild D? I've literally been in okay. I've been in situations where I was witnessing that and I didn't know that's what I was witnessing, right? So let me say this. I played for like a travel team when I was in high school and we went away somewhere and one of the players was messing with the coaches, but I never knew this until years later. But while we were at this particular place, there was so much conflict between this player and this coach. But that shit was going over my head because I had conflict with one of the players on the team anyway that wasn't supposed to be there. She didn't got cut, and but she just wanted to come anyway. Anyway. So fast forward all these years, and I find out that the player was messing with the coach, and I'm like, that's what the fuck I was seeing. Like they were like going at it, like hardcore, like arguing and like fussing with each other, and like it seemed like she didn't respect the coach, and like she just had way too much leeway with the coach. But I didn't understand that what I was seeing when I was a child. I didn't understand that. But fast forward, I got that. Or even knowing now, I knew a story of another one of my homegirls. Not even to put her out there, but she was messing with one of her coaches. Like
Mm.
these are like stories that really, really happen. Like stories that really, really go on. And even with that situation, again, that girl, it was consensual, and that was a much younger age. But that shit was consensual, so it's a sticky line because that shit just I don't know. I don't know because that shit just
It's consensual,
I
but
don't know.
the right, it's consensual, but it's not appropriate.
It's at all. It's not.
Right? So that is what it boils down to. It can be consensual, but it's not appropriate. So yeah, she's of age, and you're a coach, and you're of age. Yes, okay, but is this a look that we want at our university? Is this a precedent at our university that we're going to set? Right? If we're coaching college basketball, we're talking about college athletes, where we want our coaches messing with their players, dating their players. Right? Imagine the turmoil you would get if a coach, a young coach, let's say a head coach is 29, 30 years old, that's happening today. You're getting a 31, 32-year-old coach, right? And he's coaching at a university and he gets a 18, 19, 20-year-old female basketball player pregnant. What does that look like for a university?
Lawsuits out the ass,
You hear me?
money out
Because
the ass.
So just because it's a woman and someone can't get pregnant, you could still be looking at the same situation, right? Because, hey, the mental abuse, she was blackmailing my daughter. She was using it as a power situation. She was using it as a power dynamic, right? To control my daughter. If you break up with me, you'll never play, or you just know you don't know what is being said. It's just too much of a gray area for universities to get behind or support something like that.
100%. When I go back to grad school, best believe I am going to be messing with one of my professors. Don't judge my life. I didn't do the undergrad, so I'm going to indulge.
You're silly. You are silly, man. Well, J to J, it's almost 2 a.m. again. Then we go ahead and wrap this one up, man. It's been another great episode.
And yo, behind the scenes, we are going to release these behind the scenes fussing of me and Coach. I want to say thank you for rocking with. I know. Thank you for understanding women, sir. Thank you for understanding us in all of our frustrations and being calm and being present and helping me to be seen and making me accountable to show the fuck up and not being frustrated in my bullshit. So I want to say that publicly on record, Coach. You matter, man. So thank you, man.
Appreciate it. I would never say that I understand women. I just say that I try. I ain't gonna never take credit saying I understand women. Nah, I still VP still get mad at me. I still fuck up. So I don't understand women. I just try. I want to give a shout out before we get off here. I want to give a shout out to all the graduates, the class of 2025. Whether you're going from pre-K to kindergarten, you're going from 5th grade to middle school, you're going from middle school to high school, you're going from high school to college, or you graduated college, and maybe you're getting your master's, and maybe you're getting your doctorate, or whatever you're doing. Class of 2025, we salute y'all. Y'all are going to do amazing things. Look forward to your future, no matter what it is. You guys, we definitely salute y'all. I'm gonna give y'all the my stuff over here is dead because I was charging everything through my laptop. My laptop said you put too much pressure on me, so I can't make no gun sounds or no sirens or nothing right now. There we go. What you got for the people as we sign off, as we get out of here? Let them know what you want to let them know.
Hey y'all, thanks for rocking with us. We're gonna show up. Y'all show up. If we build it, we will come. Thanks for rocking with us, y'all. We're gonna be here again tomorrow night. God willing. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. In the words of O Solo, one nigga tell two niggas tell three niggas tell one, and one come back, and I don't remember how you said it, but y'all get the math, man. Next time you come back, bring somebody with you, man. Share the word for us, man. Mid-major mindset. We got some stuff lined up for y'all coming up. We got some really, really cool guests starting real soon. I'm gonna lock that in, you know what I'm saying? With the person I told you we're gonna have on here first. We got some really exciting news about our first guest who'll be with us, former NBA player, former ACC standout at Georgia Tech, dropped a 50 ball in the NBA, I believe, more than once. So you can start doing some Googling if you want, but, our first guest, again, you know what I'm saying? I'm just dropping some hints before I drop the name. We'll keep it a little exclusive, but we'll put it out there before we air the episode, man. J to J, I just want to appreciate you for giving me the opportunity to get better today. So I appreciate you.
Coach, appreciate you, sir. Thank you, sir.
We back at it tomorrow, man. Get some rest. We out.
You as well. Get some rest, y'all. Tune in.
What's happening? It's your boy Pinup. Want to put you on something new. Mid-Major Mindset, a new podcast hosted by J to J and myself. We'll be discussing the world of sports, trending topics, adulthood, hell, life, with the hint of that mid-major mindset.
Yo, Coach, you giving him too much. He got to be political and me, I got fired a few times. I don't got to do but stay black and die. Y'all pulling up
That's Jada J, man.
because
She'll
we
do
gonna
that from
talk
time to time.
anyway. Y'all might as well come listen and see what we talking about. Especially from two athletes. Like, nah, we real life bitches. Like, nah, in real life, dead ass. Like, y'all
Join
might
us live every Monday through Friday.
come check us out, because y'all know we also talking WNBA. We talking hella women's sports. If y'all ain't know that, y'all know now.
Don't Judge My Life Media presents
Speaking of women's sports,
Mid-Major
WNBA
Mindset.
season, WNBA, could y'all give me my WNBA passes? Media passes, please. Could I get back on y'all media?
featuring
WNBA,
two former
Nike, could I
A10
get a Nike
athletes,
check too? Like,
Coach D.
while I'm out here
Pinnock,
shooting these Steph Curry
George
taking
Washington
shots,
standout,
hard shots,
NBA draft pick,
could y'all bless us? Like, stop playing. Fordham, could we get some?
and Jada
grant
J,
money, some alumni,
former Fordham University
being that
women's
alumni is our
basketball and
president,
FIBA
Ramley,
athlete.
go Ramley, hey.
Subscribe
Hey,
everywhere
hey,
at
guys,
Mid-Major Mindset. I'm saying we ain't getting no NIL money. I'm just saying.